name is Dr. Gerald Ciacia. Everybody calls me Dr. Gerry.
My favorite chiropractor here in Staten Island, a true youth developer. He is living his life by his calling and by his strength.
Tone is vibration. So he wanted to raise the vibration of the human. And that he wanted to do through his hands and the spine. Why the spine? Well, first off, the brain controls all bodily functions. How does that brain send the messages to all your body parts, organs, nervous, immune system, etc.? How does it do it? Through the nerves that exit the spine. So sometimes from the way we work, the way we play, the way we think, our body becomes misaligned or out of balance, or as we say in chiropractic, dis-ease. Not disease, but dis-ease. Not at ease, not at peace, not at homeostasis. So we can have an overload. Most people think chiropractic is a car accident, sudden bang, lifting something heavy. That's a mechanical stress, and yes, that can cause the spine to misalign and irritate the nervous system. And the first thing you'll get is pain signals. Pain signals are wonderful because it tells you have a problem. So what do most people do? Is they take pain pills to block that signal. So they're interfering with their body's natural process. Here with chiropractic, we use hands-on adjusting to remove the pressure from the nervous system so the body can heal itself. For example, you are a healer. I am not a healer. I only assist or facilitate healing. You do the healing. For example, if you cut your finger, whether we put antibiotic cream on or in a Band-Aid, it still heals. Nature will make its own healing Band-Aid. It'll put a scab on there, and all the healing's occurring underneath. And as the healing's occurring, eventually the scab falls off and you're healed. But if we go down to Costello's funeral home and we look in the box and there's a dead guy there, and we cut his finger and we put antibiotic cream on and 3 Band-Aids, we come back a week later, there's no healing, because the energy of his body could not transmit through the nerves to that site to create healing. The energy is gone. So chiropractors deal with that subtle energy, or what we call the innate, the inborn intelligence of the body. We're not back pain or neck pain doctors, though we do help a lot of people with that, but that's not the problem. The problem is that they have what we call a subluxation, or if we put it all together, subluxation. What is a subluxation? Well, let's break it down. Sub, like a submarine, goes below, right? Lux, Latin word meaning light, right? In Spanish they say luz, but in Latin and Greek we say lux, a condition of less than light. So when the chiropractor adjusts you, he helps to improve that tone, which we talked about earlier, or raise the energy of the body. For example, germs, viruses, bacteria, things like that. Very big in our society today, especially with the virus, the coronavirus. It's all over the media. People are going crazy. They're washing their hands. They're buying masks. They're stocking up on food. But germs, viruses, bacteria can only live at lower frequencies. So with that said, I want to go back to the immune system and how it affects how the nervous system integrates with that. What causes the problems of your nervous system to affect your immune system? So when we talk about chiropractic, we talk about subluxation. A vertebrae out of its normal position, irritating the nerve fiber, causing your body to function lower. So what causes that? 3 things: stress, stress, and stress. And we all have it. Welcome. Welcome to the 21st century. So the first one is mechanical stress, which we talked about before, where you pick something up that was heavy, you hurt your back. You were in a car accident, you fell off a ladder. That's mechanical stress. You sit a certain way at the computer desk all day. Mechanical stress. Then we have chemical stress. Air pollution, poor quality food, caffeine, nicotine, alcohol. That stress is the most important one that affects the body the most. Mental emotional stress. Mental emotional stress, when you can't pay your mortgage, you're getting divorced from your wife, your child is sick in the hospital, it isn't a one-time event like a car accident. You're constantly 24/7 thinking about that, and it brings your vibration down. So that's when you're most vulnerable to be sick or ill, because your vibration went down. So chiropractically, what we do is when we adjust you, we kind of reset the nervous system so you vibrate at your highest frequency. Many many children come here, and they usually come in with a sickness or an illness, whether it's sterile bowel syndrome from taking too many antibiotics. Chronic ear infections is the #1 reason why. Asthma. Again, you say ear infections? Again, let's go back to the nervous system. The nerves that come out of the spine control the whole body. So when there's pressure on the nerve in the top of the neck and it's affecting the ear doesn't drain properly. So they get ear infections. So they go to their medical doctor and they get antibiotic after antibiotic after antibiotic. And when they keep repeating, they stick tubes in their ears. So what happened was the AMA and JAMA, the Journal of Medicine, they did a study on kids who had tubes in their ears, and they found kids that got tubes in their ears and kids that don't pretty much had the same level of health. So they felt that the tubes were unnecessary surgery, but that's all they have to offer. So chiropractically, we adjust that top vertebrae in the neck usually, and because sometimes it could be the top one or the one below, but we analyze the patient to determine that, and from that we start adjusting them. And after about a month of chiropractic care, they don't have ear infections anymore. Good thing, no more drugs anymore. The second reason why they come is asthma. Asthma is a big thing because it's a problem with the immune system. It's not something you're born with, it's something you acquire. And the way you acquire it is through poor diet and poor functioning nervous system. So the first thing we do with asthma patients is we analyze their spine, determine where their subluxation is, and it's usually between the shoulder blades because those nerves go to the lungs. With that said, then we look into diet. Let's get off the cow's milk. Let's get off the sugar. Those are the two main ones. And the processed foods, of course. So we want them to start eating healthy to nourish their body, not to diminish their body. Health is not something you have to acquire. Health is your natural state. The absence of health is usually through the way you're living or something that you're doing. So you have to analyze what you do, why you do it, because a lot of things are just, well, my parents did it, my grandparents did it. For example, the little kid said to the mom one day, "Mom, why do you cut the ends off the ham before you put it in the oven and cook it?" She says, "I don't know. That's what Grandma did." So Grandma's coming over today. Let's ask her. Grandma came over. "Grandma, why do you cut the ends off the ham before you put it in the oven?" She says, "I don't know. That's the way my mother did it. Great Grandma's coming over today." "Great Grandma, why do you cut the ends off the ham before you put it in the oven?" She says, "Well, when I was growing up, we had a very small oven, and we had to cut the ends off to get the ham in the oven." So they was doing things for generations and not knowing why. And it's like that with diet. For example, if I say, "What kind of mayonnaise you use?" "Oh, I use Hellmann's because that's what my mother used. That's what my grandmother used." "What kind of ketchup do you use?" "Heinz 57 because that's what my mother used." But you didn't question what was in that. You didn't see the high sugar content in there. For example, I have people that drink Coca-Cola. Why, I don't know. Maybe you can have one on occasion, but it's something that shouldn't be part of your diet. If you look at one can of Coke, it has about 10 teaspoons of sugar. So when you go home, get to the sugar bowl, because I'm sure you have one of those too, and put 10 teaspoons of sugar in a glass and see what that looks like. And it's very easy to have 2 Cokes. So put 20 teaspoons of sugar in there. And remember, when you eat that sugar, it decreases your immune system by 50% for 4 hours. So maybe you need to find an alternative. Let me ask you a question. What did the caveman drink? He drank water. Maybe fruit juice if he squeezed the fruit and the juice came out, but other than that, he drank water. And our DNA hasn't changed that much since the caveman. So you should eat more like a caveman than a modern man. Okay? Modern man has a lot of diseases and a lot of drugs to treat those diseases. So if you want to live naturally, you want to live healthy, you want to feel good, because it's all about feeling. When you feel good, you function well, you're happy. So let's focus more on diet, chiropractic, and thinking good thoughts. Thank you.
Healthy Eyes!